Like for me, not realizing God's bringing you into a new season and you're just looking around and you're like, what the heck is going on? So we're gonna hop into that today. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Melody and I make faith-based content here on YouTube. I post new videos every single Tuesday, usually, but I know this video is like long overdue. I haven't posted a video in about 2 months, but don't worry, we are gonna talk about it. We're gonna dive into where the heck I have been, and I'm also going to share with you guys some signs that you might be walking through a new season with God, as well as how to navigate that new season. The signs and the new seasons, that really goes hand in hand with where I've been, and I feel like that always happens when I take a little break from YouTube, or when I feel like the Lord really is calling me to take a little break from YouTube. He is teaching me things, pouring into me, and I'm able to come back kind of fresh-eyed and new ideas and really just new experiences to share with you guys. And I also want to say I'm not trying to make a habit out of being gone for months at a time. Like, don't worry. I really am excited to come back, post consistently, but this is a part of life, to be honest. These times where you just gotta go through what the Lord is bringing you through, and you can't necessarily talk about it while you're going through it. You just gotta go through it, and then once you're through it, you can then share with others what you were going through. So, long story short, let's just go ahead, hop into this video. So first things first, let's talk about what's been going on for the past 2 months. There's really not that much to share because this past season that I've really been walking through with God has been a season of going from this fast to this fast, like really just bringing the pace down. And I know like it's probably confusing because in my last video, I'm talking about launching a shop. It was gonna launch on my birthday, June 19th. And obviously June 19th has come and gone. Like we're way past June 19th. I haven't launched the shop, but it was a welcomed like detour. As much as I was excited about the shop, as much as I'm 100% sure that the Lord gave me the idea and like the execution and the date, I also know that He gave me the calling of this detour as well. As much as it was like a welcomed thing, being able to take a break, it also felt a little bit like I'm a failure for having a plan and not executing it. And walking through that wasn't super fun. But at the end of the day, like regardless of what I produce, regardless of what I do, it's a really good reminder for me that I am more than what I do. Like even if I have a plan and I don't execute it, I am still worthy. You know what I mean? Especially for someone like me that can like struggle a little bit with perfectionism, as well as like feeling like my output is my worth. It was a great reminder that regardless of what I do, I'm a child of God. Regardless of how I perform, I am chosen, I am loved. So that's really what these last 2 months have looked like. Obviously, there have been other things going on. I still work full time. My job is not as stressful as it used to be. Thank you, Jesus. But obviously with every job, there comes stress. X and I have been navigating newlywed life. We are learning a lot. We're coming up on 6 months of being married this month, which is very exciting. Like time has gone by so quickly. We are still in the process of building our first home. We were projected to have been finished with it at the end of May, but we are nowhere near being finished with it. So you guys please pray for us. And I actually want to start up a series back on the house process because we are getting closer and working on like decorating, and we've hired an interior designer, which I'm super excited about. So if you guys are interested in a house series, please let me know. I hope you guys are, because I really want to document the process. It's gonna be slow. We're not planning on like moving in and having everything ready to go, but I think it would be fun to bring you guys along. And then what else? Family wise, things are great. My family all came into town for my birthday. I'll insert a few clips here. Like it was really, really special. And my brother and his wife and my niece, they drove up from Florida and surprised me. So it was just like the perfect way to bring in 30. Oh, and I turned 30. A lot has been happening. So I'm excited again to be back here sharing with you guys, coming back with some consistent content, posting on Instagram. And yeah, I feel like this season of rest that the Lord really brought me through was necessary for me to kind of get some things like in order so I can really execute at the level and the pace that He's calling me to. I'm realizing like I gotta have systems. Like I cannot be on a hamster wheel or like, what is that thing called? Doggy kicking? Doggy swimming. Why doesn't that sound right? Doggy paddling. There we go. Doggy paddling, trying to keep my head above water. Like I really got to become a smooth running machine. And yeah, so that is what's been going on these past 2 months. I know it's been a minute. In the comments below, I would love to know what has been going on in your world these past 2 months. Maybe like a high and a low. If you feel led to share, I would love to read that. And yeah, so I talked in like right there about the new season that God brought me to. And that's really what I want to focus on in the rest of this video, giving you guys some signs that God is bringing you into a new season, as well as some tips on how to navigate it. Because when I first entered the season of rest, I was excited because rest was like needed, but at the same time, with that new season of rest brought a new season in my walk with the Lord. And that was confusing. That was like, why does this thing with the Lord not feel like, not look like, nothing like it used to? And I felt like I was doing something wrong. I felt like what's wrong? What's changed? Why is this so different? And instead of having the insight to take inventory and acknowledge that like we are doing a new thing, it's not supposed to look like how it used to, I fought against it for a while. I was like, no, I'm doing something wrong. I need to have the same routine I had then now. It needs to look the same. What am I doing wrong? So yeah, let's just go ahead and hop into it. So now let's talk about this new season with God. So as He's really brought me into a new season of life, like my pace of life went from here to here. I am moving slower. I also entered into a new season of life in general, going from being a single person. Well, I mean, I wasn't single, but I lived by myself. I've never lived with a man in my life except my brother and my dad. I've never really had a roommate like that. Like I've lived by myself on purpose, you know what I mean? Like I know how I like to live. You know, navigating living with someone in and of itself has absolutely been a transition. Navigating like living and doing life by yourself to living and doing life with your husband has also been a transition. And I feel like as God has really been bringing me into this entirely different season of life, literally, we've been walking into a different season in our relationship as well. And the thing is, I never stopped to take inventory of all of the changes in my life. And because I hadn't taken inventory of all the changes of my life, I also was not giving myself an ounce of grace. And again, because I never stopped to take inventory of all of the literal different changes happening in my life, I never also stopped to take inventory of how these changes in my life also are going to impact my walk with Him. It's going to impact the dynamic of our walk, impact what He's trying to teach me, impact how He shows up in our relationship as well. And as I've been walking in this new season with God for the last month and a half, I was honestly very confused. I didn't know God was bringing me into a new season of relationship with Him. I kept waking up day in and day out feeling like, why does my walk and my relationship with God not look like or feel like it used to? What am I doing wrong? There was no acknowledgement of perhaps we are entering into new season and it is on purpose that nothing looks or feels the same. I also never took into account how any of the changes in my life would impact my relationship with Him. And that is my first tip and thing I want to give you guys. If you find yourself feeling like your relationship with God just feels and looks different, take inventory. And as you're taking inventory of perhaps the changes in your life that might impact how your relationship with God is looking and feeling different, give yourself grace. I so often would wake up or go to bed just feeling like I'm failing. I'm failing in my relationship with God. I'm not spending as much time with him as I used to. I'm not getting like the feels like I used to. What am I doing wrong? And instead of having that like thought process of condemnation, I now am giving myself grace, acknowledging all of the changes that I'm going through in my life and all of the things that God is trying to also teach me. The things I need to know now that I didn't need to know then. Our relationship is different. The dynamic is different. And that is what I'm walking through. So once we go ahead and give ourselves some grace because we've taken inventory and acknowledged that things are going to be different because literally our life is different, I think it's really important for us also to have this fresh perspective and revelation of the fact that when we are walking into a new season with God, we also are getting to know a new facet of him, getting to know new characteristics of him, getting to know him in a new and fresh way. And I want to bring up this Bible verse, Revelations 4:8. Shout out to my girl Shirley. I'm gonna have her Instagram linked in the description box. She's an amazing spoken word artist, but she really poured into me and encouraged me with this Bible verse because she was saying when we enter into a new season with God, this Bible verse shows that there is an angel. There are angels in heaven, well, specifically seraphims, I believe, that they day in and day out look up at God or look at God at some capacity, like look in his direction perhaps, and they say, holy, 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 day in and day out. And that's because each time they get a glimpse of him or each time they go up and they go down, they're getting a new revelation of him. And again, this is happening for eternity. So that is just how amazing God is, that you for eternity can get a new and fresh revelation of him every second to the point where you're saying holy, holy, holy for eternity. And that just encouraged me so much to where in a certain season you can think, oh, I know God to be this, this, and this, to have these characteristics, but he's trying to do something new. He's trying to teach you and show you a different facet of him because there are this infinite amount of facets of him that are worthy to be praised. So yeah, I want to go ahead and read that Bible verse because it was so encouraging to me when she mentioned it. So let me go ahead and pull it up and I will put it on the screen so we can read it together. Okay, so give me a second here. That was not planned. I wasn't ready. Okay, so again, it's Revelation 4:8. I'm reading in the Amplified version. Okay, and the four living creatures, each one of them having 6 wings, are full of eyes all over and within, underneath their wings, and day and night they never stop saying, holy, holy, holy is the Lord God, the Almighty, the Omnipotent, the ruler of all, who was and who is to come, the unchanging, eternal God. So, yes. Be encouraged by walking into a new season with God because you are getting to know and see and experience for yourself a different facet of his holiness. So that is going to be number 2, I guess. We'll start the little list going. Let's hop into number 3. The next thing to really consider and kind of like tip, I guess, for navigating that new season with God is to not only know but also accept in your heart that the current season you're walking through or that new season with God that you're walking through is not gonna look like or feel like the previous season. And honestly, this was probably the most difficult part for me because I am a feeler. Your girl has a lot of emotions. I kept expecting the feelings I felt in previous seasons to be duplicated in this season. And when I'm not feeling that, I'm going through that thought process. What's wrong? What's wrong? What am I doing wrong? But I really had to take that mindset off and accept it. Accept the new thing God is trying to do in my life. Accept the new thing that God is trying to do in our relationship. I have to let go of the past and really like put on that fresh perspective that it's not going to look like it used to, and that is okay. Give yourself permission for it to be okay. God's already trying to do it. you might be the only one trying to hold it up, looking and waiting for it to look like it used to. I know that's at least like my truth and what was going on. So that is going to be number 3. And last but not least, we are going to hop into number 4. The fourth thing to consider, the fourth tip for you when you're walking into a new season with God, is to get excited and to think of it as an adventure. Once we accept that it's not going to look like this new season with God is not going to look like your previous season with God, you can get excited. Think of it as an adventure. Not as a test that you're failing, but as a fresh new adventure where you get to understand, get to know, learn more about yourself perhaps, and also for sure learn more about God in that adventure of life, honestly. A lot of times, I know for myself, I kind of have this subconscious belief that as a Christian, I'm going to get to a certain place and we are coasting, baby. I've gotten to a place where God and I are good and we're gonna stay good forever, and there's really nothing else for me to learn, right? Because like, I'm good and now we're coasting. But no, your relationship with God is not going to be like that. You're going to be learning new things constantly. It's always going to be an adventure. It's always going to be something fresh and new. And it's something to get excited about. I know, just like a random side note, but when I lived in Korea, I used to live abroad for 2 years, taught English in South Korea. I'll link some videos above if you guys are interested about my previous life. But when I lived there, every single day was amazing to me because it was like this brand new, fresh adventure, and I didn't know what was gonna happen. And I thrived on that. Now, that has absolutely changed over the years, but I feel like God is bringing that spirit back a little bit, that adventurous spirit, by bringing me on this new adventure in this new season with Him. It's something to get excited about every single day. What am I gonna learn new about God today? How is our relationship gonna be a little bit different than it used to be today? Not, oh my God, it looks nothing like it used to, I'm doing something wrong today. So I just want to go ahead and end with that one. It is an adventure. Let's get excited. Adventure time. All right, guys, so that is it for me. This is the long story short, where your girl has been, and also some signs and tips and tricks on how you can navigate a new season with God and like a different perspective that you can look at that new season through. I hope this video encouraged you, and of course, it is now your turn. So in the comments below, I would love to know something that you learned as you entered into a new season with God, or if one of the points I mentioned in today's video really resonated with you. I would love to hear about that in the comments below as well. I always say this, but I think we can all learn from each other. So I encourage you to leave a comment if you feel led, and also take some time to scroll through the comments and see what your other sisters in Christ have learned along the way. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I don't plan on making little hiatuses a commonplace here on my channel. I'm super excited to come back with some consistent content. So next Tuesday, we will see each other again. And in the meantime, you can find me on Facebook. We have a Facebook ministry group for His Glory Sisterhood. I will make sure that's linked in the description box, as well as on Instagram. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a like. And if you haven't subscribed already, be sure to do that as well. I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.